Event is going on parallelly on the Zoom as well as on the YouTube. Live streaming is on. More than 200 participants are there on the YouTube who are watching our FTP on live. So that's great, sir.
We can start now.
Okay, Ms. Diksha, please go ahead with the introductions of sir, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I, Diksha Sambyal, research scholar on the behalf of Computer Science and IT, Bhadarwah campus, the University of Jammu, in collaboration with Ramanujam College, University of Delhi, welcomes all on the second day of FDP for data analytics and modeling tools for research. This session will be conducted by Professor Shalab on the topic using RStudio for data science. I would like to give a brief introduction about Professor Shalab. Professor Shalab is a professor of statistics and data science at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, with experience of 19 years. He is presently working as Dean Academic Affairs and has also worked as lecturer at the University of Jammu from the year 1995 to 1998. The area of specialization of Professor Shalab includes statistics and data science. He has done his bachelor's, master's, and PhD degree from Lucknow University and postdoctorate from University of Pittsburgh and Ludwig Maximilians. Professor Shalab has many research publications in various national and international conferences and SCI Scopus Index Journal to his credit. He has completed 13 projects under him, the latest one being analyzing grievances data using artificial intelligence by the Ministry of Defense, Government of India, and enabling intelligent and interactive grievances analysis by the Ministry of Defense. He has been awarded 13 honors and awards, including Fellowship of Indian Academy for Mathematical Modeling and Simulation in 2018, Vigyan Ratan Samman, Jewel of Science Honor, IISA Young Researcher Award, and many more. Thank you, sir, for sparing the time for this valuable session. Please go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Diksha. In fact, I also didn't know what I have achieved in my life. So thanks for briefing it. I never looked into my homepage or my biodata. Right. So, but yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Ashok Sharma. And I spent my first, actually at Jammu University, this was my first job. So, you know that first affair, first job, first everything is always adorable to all of us. So that is one of the main reason that I am here, because it is conducted by University of Jammu. Right. Anyway, so I think let me come to that topic. You see, one thing I can make you understand and clear before the beginning of the talk, that whenever we are trying to attend this FDPs or workshop, definitely you cannot be an expert in 1 hour or 1.5 hours lecture. But surely, means if you have any hindrance, if you have any sorts of fear inside your heart, that can surely be removed. At least it is just like in your childhood when you were trying to learn the bicycle. So initially you are not really confident that when you will ride on the bicycle just with 2 wheels, you can make a balance. But suddenly your brother or your father comes to your help, and then they will simply hold the bicycle from the back, and then you will just sit on the seat for 2 minutes, and then you can see that yes, I can also ride the bicycle. So that is the same job I am going to do here in this 1 hour 15 minutes of time, that I am just going to hold your bicycle from the back for 75 minutes. And then, after that, I'm sure that you will be able to learn this RStudio, and you will be comfortable at least in learning the RStudio, or at least you will be confident that, yes, I can learn the RStudio. It is not difficult. So that is what I'm going to do now in this lecture today. So, the first question comes over here, that why should we use this RStudio? So let me now try to share this screen. I have just prepared a small lecture. Right, I hope so. Now you can see my screen. So you see, the first thing comes over here, that this statistics is now turned into data science. because the reason is very simple. Because means I remember that when I started my career in statistics, then at that time there were no computers, or all computers were beginning to arrive in this country. But now you have advancements of computer, advancement of softwares, and many things are there. So then now you have you have an option that you can use the bigger set of data with the different types of tools, even they are not capable of handling through the algebra and mathematics. So now people started thinking, and then this statistics got turned into data science. So now when we are trying to work in statistics or data science, then definitely when we are trying to deal with the data, then we need to use a software. So among the various available softwares nowadays, R is one of the popular software, and there are a couple of reasons this why R software became so popular. The first thing is this: it is a free software. So as a student, or as a even means as an individual, we may not be able to spend that much if it is sufficient enough to buy a good software. So R is helping us, and it is providing all the updated softwares and it's update free for life. That is the first thing. Second thing is this: because it's a free software, and people have an opportunity that they can also create uh, their own packages. So R gain the popularity. Right. For example, if I am working on some problem and if I develop a tool, then I would like that let people use this tool. So so from that point of view, then I can also always create a package for my work, and I can upload it on the R software's website, and then people can use from there. So that is so these are a couple of advantages which made this R software to be very popular. Now, R is not a software which is like a window based where you can do click, 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 and then the things are done, but you have to type the commands. So, when people started working in the R software, then in order to help them, some secondary software came forward, and they were developed just to extend the help for working in the R software. So, so among those different software, we have a couple of softwares like Stduio, R, etc. And among them, this Stduio nowadays is getting quite popular. So here I would try to give you a brief introduction that how you can work in the Stduio or to work in the R software. Right. And as far as the applications are concerned, whether this is statistics or data science, that will not make any difference, because you are essentially trying to learn how to use the R software with the help of Stduio. So you know that when you are trying to work in the R software, then as soon as you start the R software, you get this type of a screen here, and then this is the place here where you try to type your commands, and this is called as a command line. Right. Now, when you are trying to work on this command line, there is an issue that, okay, means you cannot see everything, and it is not like there are small buttons which you can actually click, but you really need to type the commands. And then when you are typing the commands, then single line, multi-line commands, they are possible. And when you are trying to write down the multi-line program, then you need a text editor also, that in which you can write down the program, and when you try to execute it, then you will have several options, like as you can get the graphics, you can save the file, and yeah, there are many things. For example, I would always like to see that what are the variables which I have defined, what are the different characters which I have defined, what are the different values which I have defined. So I would like to put everything at one place. Right. It is something like this. If you try to understand that that if you have seen that in any organization, and suppose there are 20 rooms, in which people are working, and the and the chief executive officer of that office wants to have an eye on all the rooms that what is happening. So what they try to do nowadays, you can see they will put this CCTV cameras, and there will be a single screen in which whatever is happening in all those rooms, that will be available at a fingertip. So there is one screen in which there are different small windows, and in which that what is happening in every room, that is visible there. So similarly is the job of this R Studio. Also, there are a couple of commands there which are happening when you are trying to execute the R software. So with the help of this R Studio, you can see those outcomes in a single screen, single window. So that is the job of this R software. For example, when you want to write down a multi-level, multi-line program, or you simply call it as a program in the R software. One option is that you can go to the means window of the R software itself. For example, you can see here like this. You come here, and then means there will be here this one. Means I've just taken here the screenshot so that I can show you here. You come to here file, and then you come to here new script, and then once you click here a new window, just like a notepad, that is going to be open, and then you can type the commands in this window, and then there will be more than one lines in the commands, and if you want to execute say a selected part, that is a couple of lines, then you can highlight it, and then you can press the control R, and it will execute those lines. Or in case if you want to execute the entire the entire program, then you have to highlight the entire program, and then you have to press control R. So that is how you can execute these things inside the R console also. Right. So so remember one thing, that I am not saying at all that you cannot work in the R software or in the R console, but whatever you are trying to do in this R console, suppose you want to prepare a graphic, then possibly those graphics can be now written in this command on this script file. Then those commands can be highlighted and they can be executed. Now the graphics are going to be open in a new window, and then we say if you want to do other operations, you have to say handle them one by one. So all these things are possible in R software, and they can be done. So now the question comes over here: what this R Studio is going to do? Well, actually, means I'm not talking only of the R Studio, but I'm talking of a secondary software which is going to help us. It is just like our actually friend. Suppose if I want to go somewhere and if I need the help of a friend, then my friend can drop me there. My friend can get some smaller jobs which are to be done. But finally, if I have to get my work done, then I have to go to the office and then get the things done. So this R Studio, or say TinR, these are some secondary software. They are the free software which helps us in working working inside the R software, right? So and then means, for example, if you means earlier, I remember that in the 2000 means around 2005, 7, 8, that at that moment R Studio was not there, and then there was another software, TinR. So this was another editor in which we used to type our commands, and we used to execute it. Right. So now we have here one more software here, R Studio. So this R Studio is a software which only helps us in running the R software. Please don't think that R Studio is a software. No. R Studio is a software, sorry, I would say in this way, that please don't think that R Studio is a software for doing the computation and statistical calculation. No. R is the software which is doing all such operations, calculation, etc. But RStudio is only a face that whatever is happening inside the R software, that is projected on the software RStudio, or RStudio is a shield between us and the R software, so that whatever is happening inside the on the back of the RStudio, that is projected on the screen of RStudio, and we as a user can see what is happening in the RStudio, right? So RStudio is a software which is trying to help us. And this software is written in the C++ programming language. It is a free source and is an open source integrated development environment IDE for this R. And this RStudio software is available at this website, www.rstudio.com, right? Now, so the first question comes here, how are you going to get this software? So simply go to this rstudio.com. There means you will see this type of screen, and then you will see here, this is here, this download. You simply come over here on the download, and then you will see here there are different types of RStudio software which are available at the level in which we are working. We just with the free version of the software. Otherwise, there are some paid versions of the software. Yes, they may have some additional capabilities, but at this moment we just want a free software which is more than enough for us. So there will be a version for the desktop, there will be for the server. So depending on your need, you can just download this free software, and then after that you simply have to just make click, and then the software will be installed on your computer. So now after this, once you begin this RStudio software, then it will look like this, right? So I can first show you here that what really happens, and then I will try to show you, I will try to explain you how are you going to work, right? Okay, first thing, if you try to see here that this is this R software. This is the console which you get here once you start working on the R software. So if you want to write down here 4 into 7, you can type down here, you can say here 7 into here 8. It will, so whatever operation you want to do, you can do it here, right? So now if I try to show you, if you just try to install this R software and try to click on it, you will get here a screen like this one. Right. So you see, this is the window in which I was already working. So you can see many things over there. But when you start for the first time, this will be simply a neat and clean window. So you can see here, this is my window number here. This is my window 1, where I'm trying to highlight. And similarly, if you try to see here, this is another window here. And if you try to see here where I'm trying to move my cursor, this is my window number here 3. And after this, if you try to see here, this is my here window number 4, where you have files, plots, packages, help, reviewer, etc. So anyway, so this is actually, it will look like, so I just thought that before I try to move further, I try to give you this idea so that you are more comfortable, right? So now you can see here, once you start this RStudio, you will get exactly this type of window. So now the question is this, how are you going to use it? So that is what we are trying to now understand. Okay, so you can see here, there are here 4 windows. Means first I will try to explain you very quickly, and then I will try to explain you in detail. So all those commands which you want to execute, they are typed here. So this is the window where you can type your commands, and yeah, after this there will be something like a run, source, etc. So then you can execute it. Okay, anyway, so if you, but at this moment, you just try to understand the quick review, and then I will try to take one by one. Then if you try to see in this window, and if you try to identify what is this window, if you try to see, this is the same window with, which appears when you try to start the R software. Right, so this is essentially the R console. Right, same place where you try to type your commands and other things. And this is here another window here where you can see that many things are there: environment, history, and then some variables will be there. I will try to explain you. So all those variables which you have defined during the programming or that you have used in this program, they are going to be displayed in this window here. Now, this is here, another window here, window number here 4. So you can see there are many things here: files, plot, packages, help, viewer. So this window say it tries to give you an idea what are the available files in your working directory, and how the plots will look like. All the basic operation related to the graphics and plots, they will appear here. And then packages here, that what are the different packages which have been installed, which are available, which you want to install, etc., etc. They will be available from here. And then this is here help, and this is here viewer, means if you try to see your graphics, etc. So now you can see here that when you are trying to look at the RStudio, you will get here this type of look. And you can see here all the things are before your eyes. And using these borders, you can you can adjust the size of the windows also. That is also in your perfect control. Right. So anyway, so now let me try to give you here some example here that how you are going to work, and then what are these different windows which are going to do. For example, if you try to type here these 3 lines: library, mass, attach bacteria, and fix bacteria. Actually, these are there is a package here whose name is mass, MASS, which is actually that contains the commands and program files for the book Modern Applied Statistics with S software, that was written by Van Bliss and Ripley. That was the first book on the software S plus, and this R is R was motivated by the software S plus, right? So that is why all the command file, all the commands, programs, data files from that book, they are available in this package mass. So, so we want to use here a data set whose name is bacteria. So in case if you want to use it inside the R software, then for example, if you type these 3 lines in the window number 1, that library mass to upload the package mass, then attach bacteria, so that you can call the data file whose name is bacteria, and fix bacteria. That means you want to open the file. And if you want to execute these things, what I can do here, that I can just copy it on the RStudio here like this, you can see. And now I'm trying to give you here, actually, in this next 45 minutes, what I will do, I will try to give you two things together. Through this example, I will try to demonstrate that how are you going to work and what are the different capabilities of the R software in the RStudio software. Right. So now the first question comes here: if you want to execute a particular command, then what are you going to do? First thing is this: suppose I want to execute only this part, library mass. So I will try to highlight it. And in order to highlight it, either you can use your mouse cursor, or you can just use the key shift, and then you try to use the arrow key. So you try to highlight it. And suppose you want to execute it. So you come here. Here you can see that there is a command here, run. So you simply come here and click on this arrow, on this small button. And as soon as you click on this button, it will, you can see here that this is happening, that this library mass command is executed inside the R console. So you can see here now all the things, whatever you want to do, they are available before your eyes. And after that, if you try to highlight and click run on attached bacteria and fixed bacteria, you can open the file and you can open the windows. And if you want to do it in a single shot, just try to highlight all the 3 lines together and then you try to say run. Right. So now, so this is actually the first window where you are trying to do the editing of the program. Right. So now, so in fact, I will try to show, I will try to show you here that after executing this here library mass function, if you try to say here attach bacteria and fix bacteria, you will see this type of window is going to be opened. Right. And then this is the data file which is appearing over here. And then you will see that all these data files, they are also giving the information in the window number actually here 3. So let me try to show you these commands on the R inside this RStudio. So what I will do here, that I will try to copy this command and I will try to paste them inside the RStudio software. Right. So I will just open here a new file. So you can see here, I can open here a new file, and it is now, this is going to our script file. So you can see here, I have pasted here these 3 commands, and I will say clear here this screen also. So now if you try to see, I will try to increase the font size. Okay. So you can see now here that I'm trying to highlight it, and then I'm trying to press it here on the click. As soon as I say here click, what you have to observe is that what happens here where I'm trying to move my cursor in the window number 2. You can see here this library mass is executed here. And then as soon as I try to suppose highlight both the lines and I try to say here execute, you can see here this line is, sorry, this command has opened the a file data whose name is bacteria. You can see here, yeah, there are different variables and then there are different types of data. And after that, if you want to if you try to see here where I'm trying to move my cursor in this window, you can see here it is trying to show you that this is here data here bacteria, and this bacteria data is like this, that it has 220 observations on 6 variable, and if you try to see it here, it is trying to give you the information like there is a variable y, there is a variable ap, there is a variable hilo, hilo, then week, etc. And then it is trying to give you an idea that, okay, there is here this y is a factor with labels, this ap is a factor with different labels, week is a number numeric with these many variables, and so on. So now you can see here all this information which are there, they are available at a single screenshot, on a single screen actually. Right. So let me try to come back to my slides and try to give you some idea. Right. Right. So this is the basic advantage of this RStudio, that you can do a couple of things at the same time, and you can view them, you can visualize them on the same screen. Right. So now when you now after having a quick idea about what is RStudio, I can say that now you have understood that this RStudio is a sort of interface between this R and us, and it is more useful for the beginners, because in the beginning there are no buttons, so many times the users get more confused that how are you going to do it. And then above all, it helps us in making this coding easier. And now when you start this RStudio, you will see here these type of 4 windows that I already have explained you. So now if you try to see, now I try to give you the a brief description of all these 4 windows one by one, right? So this is my, and then you can see here, I'm calling this window as window number 1, the R console window as window number 2, then this window where I had environment and history as window number 3, and this the 4th window where we had file, plot, packages, help, reviewer. This is my window number 4. So now I will try to take one by one and I will try to explain you. So you can see here in this window number 1, what do we do here? We try to write down here all the commands and scripts. So this is called here as a script section, right? And then you can see here before that there is a option for here file, edit, code, view, plots, etc. And yeah, before moving forward, when you try to click on this actually here file, you will see many options. So what you have to keep in mind that RStudio has now grown up in different direction, and it has got application in on various platforms. So it is used on different platforms. So, but anyway, at this moment, we are interested only in the R software. So we are going to deal only with the R part over here. But you should not get confused when you try to see by clicking on the file that how RStudio is being used in other cases also. So now in this window number 1, you can see here, you can just create here a script file from here by clicking on the file and then new file and then open the script file. And then this type of file will be open, and that I just demonstrated by copying those 3 commands over there. Right. So, okay, one thing which is important for you to understand that whatever is the common name which we call as program. Program is simply the compilation of different different instructions in a logical way, right? So when we are trying to execute a program, or we are trying to write a program, then we are trying to write down different steps in a sequentially and a logical way. So whatever is the concept of program in any programming language, that is called as function in the RStudio, and then whatever are your syntax commands, whatever you write, that is called as a script in the R software. So that is why this window number 1 is called a script section, where you try to write down all the commands, and whatever you want to type here, you just type out here. Then this is here, I think, okay, there are many things with some of them, you know, like this is a button for save, that whatever name you want to give it, you can save this file. And then more important part at this moment here is this is a run, and this is here rerun. And if you try to see, as soon as you bring your cursor on the run, it will show you on the that it is a run. It will give you more details on it. And similarly, if you try to come to the second button, it will give you a message which will pop up that it is a rerun program. So run means you are trying to execute the program, and rerun means if you want to re-execute the same line. So you don't have to do anything, but you simply have to click on this rerun button over here. Right. Okay. So now in this window, if you try to open here on or open on the file, you will see here that is the R script, R Markdown, Shiny, Text, C++, etc. Right. So as I said that there will be many more application of the RStudio, but now at this moment we are working only for this R script file. And then, yeah, means if you try to click over here, this will save the file, this will open the file, and right, okay, there is a small slip. Yeah, this line should be here, right, and this line should be here. Sorry for this. Right. You know that this is for the save button, and if you try to click over here, you can create a new file over there, and then yeah, and this is your here run, and this is for your here rerun. And I said, and I explained, if you want to run a particular line or say one or more than one lines, you simply have to highlight them, and then you have to click on the run. And if you want to execute the entire program, you simply try to say Control E, that means Control All, that will highlight the entire program, and you try to just press the button over here, run. So that is how you can see that now this working in the RStudio software is easier than working in the R console, because now means everything is controlled by a click of your mouse only. Right. Now, okay, after that, I come to your here, this window number 2. So window number 2, if you try to identify what is this, if you try to see, this is simply your here, the R console, that if you try to separately start the R software, then this is the first window that appears over there. And this is called as R console. So R console is the place where whatever calculations you want to do, they are typed here, they are executed here. So as I said, you have to remember RStudio is only your friend. RStudio cannot do any calculation, but RStudio is only a link between the R software and us. And it is something like it is trying to hold our hands like this, so that we can move easily with the R software. So this is the idea here, that if you want to see what is really happening, then you can view them in the R console. Right. For example, when I will come to the window number 4, then I will try to show you that when you are trying to install any package, then if you are trying to do it on the R directly on the R software, then you have to go to the R console, and then you have to write down here the command like install dot packages like this, and then you have to write down the name of the packages that you want to install. But when you are trying to work in the R Studio software, then you simply have to make here a check mark inside the box like this, and it will be done. But when you are trying to make a check mark what is happening inside the R software, that will be visible on this R console window. So definitely the moral of the story of this statement is that those people who are trying to do smaller things, possibly they can work in the RStudio, but then those people who are trying to write down a hi-fi program, they also need to understand what are the commands which are happening in the background. For example, if I say, suppose I write a bigger program in which I'm using, suppose 5 packages, and suppose I have to write down this program and I have to send it somewhere else. So now how to communicate that, okay, these are the software which are needed, or these are the packages which are needed. One option is that I try to create a secondary file for the instructions, and then I try to communicate to them that before executing the program, please try to follow this instruction, and then you try to follow, and then you try to execute the program. The second option is this: within the program itself, I can write that, okay, that install packages, this package number 1, install packages, package number 2, etc., etc. So as soon as somebody is trying to execute it, in a first shot itself, all the packages are installed and the program is executed. So what is happening behind this RStudio inside the R software, that will be visible here in this window. Right. Okay, so that is a pretty simple thing. Now, if you come to here, window number 3, so there are here 2 aspects here. One is here environment, and second here is history. Right. So if you try to come first on the environment, so what we try to do here, that whatever variable, whatever values which are using inside the programming, their environment will be visible here. For example, if you try to define a variable as a scalar variable or a vector valued function or a matrix, anything. So how do you know that these are my variable, data vector, matrix, or what? Or say data frame. So you have different types of commands in the R software to know that whether this is a character or this is a variable, this is whether there is a data frame or not. So, but instead of using those things over there, this environment will show you here, indicate you here all such information in a single view. For example, you can see here, I'm trying to take here environment here, and then it is trying to give me the value here X, whose value is here 1. And similarly, I had just shown you that when you try to use the this bacteria data set, it was trying to give you that there are 220 values, some are factors, some are variable, etc. Right. So, so whatever you are trying to execute in the R software, that will be visible in this window number 3. For example, if I try to use a value here x equal to 1 on the R console, or I try to use it on the script section and execute it. So as soon as I execute it, this x equal to this here 1, this value will appear here. Right. So that is the first thing. Now, after this, you know that this is open and safe, that you know. But after this, a more important part here is imported data set. This part, you see, whenever we are trying to work in this R software, then definitely many times it is possible that data has been collected by some external source. Somebody has collected the data, and the data has been stored in some say spreadsheet, for example, in the Excel file or in any other software like as SPSS, etc. So the question here is this: how you can use the data inside the R software. Now you have to remember one thing. Suppose, for example, somebody has collected the data, and the data has been and this data has been compiled in an Excel file. So the environment of Excel file in which the data is being stored, that is very much different than the environment inside the R software. Right. So definitely, if you simply want to copy and paste the values from the from the MS Excel into the R software, it will not work. But it has to be brought inside the R software so that necessary modifications are made in the structure of the file, such that the file is ready to be read inside the R software. So how to get it done? So the question here is how to get it done. So this import dataset option will help you. The fact is this: if you want to import a data file which is created in any other environment inside the R software, then you need to use a package. Right. For example, in order to read the Excel file, there is a package, say EXEL, that has to be installed, and then the files can be read. Whereas the data files like TXT or CSV, they can be brought, they can be read directly inside the R software. So all this process that choosing the appropriate package, installing it there, and then using it to put in the file, all these things can be done here just by import dataset. As soon as you click on the import dataset, you will get here several options that what type of data set is this, whether this is Excel or SPSS or say anything else, that will be imported here automatically. Right. So this is how it is going to help. Right. Then I can just wait. I can clear the screen so that you can see it here more clearly. right? And after that, you will see here, this is here a symbol like a broom. Broom means that is the broom by which we try to clean our room. So if you want to remove or erase all these values over here, you can simply click, but you have to be clear that that all the variables and the values which are stored here, which are listed here, they will be erased. Then after this, there is another button here, history. History means whatever you have done in the past, all those variables, their values, etc., they are going to be visible from here. For example, if you ask me, suppose I work on the R software today and I try to choose some variable and I try to make some computations and then I leave. And then tomorrow I come back again. I just means close my computer, shut down my computer. And then next day when I start working on this one, I want to see, okay, what I was doing, what I have done in the past. So you can go through in this history and then you can find it out very easily just by the click of a button. I'm not saying at all that all these operations, whatever you can do here over a click, they cannot be done in the R console. They can be done in the R console, but definitely doing it inside the R Studio will make it very easy for you to do. They are just a click away. Whereas inside the R software, first you need to understand the that what are the commands, what are their syntax, and yeah, this also avoids that if you try to make any spelling mistake when you are trying to execute the program. So this R software will help you in keeping away from all such mistakes, right? Okay, now after this, let me come to the fourth window. This window number 4 has many options. So I will try to explain you one by one. So this is actually a sort of output window where you can see the output of many things. But anyway, it's not only output, there are many other options available. So let me try to give you here a brief idea. So you can see here, this is here files, right? Files mean it will try to show you what are the available file in the working directory. Working directory means when you are trying to work inside the R software, then there will be many files, input data files, output data file, program file, etc. You would always like to store them in a particular directory. Well, when you try to start without specifying any directory, then R also has a built-in directory and everything is going to be stored in that directory only. But so this files is going to show you the contents of this folder where whatever is your working directory. If you are trying to work in the default directory, so in case if you are trying to work in the default directory, it will try to show you the contents of the directory. And then after this, if you are working in a particular folder which you have fixed before starting, then it will try to give you the contents of that folder, right? So okay, then the second option here is plots. So it will so whenever you are trying to create any graphics or any plot inside this RStudio software, then whatever is the outcome, then it will try to show you this thing itself, right? You can see that how do they look like and how are you going to handle it. It means you want to save them as PDF, you want to save them as a JPEG, etc. And all these things can be done over here, right? So this is how this plots will give you the different option to work. After this, there is a button here, packages. So when you are trying to work in the R software, then in order to execute anything, we try to use different types of packages also. So now when you are working in the R console actually, and if you want to use any package over there, then what you have to do, there is a command here, install dot packages, right? Sorry, I will write down again, install dot packages, and then you have to give it the name of the package that you want to install. Then you have to give here the command here, library, and then you have to upload the package. So this is how you work in the R console, right? But this thing has become very simpler when you are trying to work in the RStudio. If you come over here, it will try to show you here whether you want to install a package. As soon as you say, I want to install a package, it will give you some drop down also, that as soon as you are trying to type couple of letters, it will give you in the drop down also, and then so that you can choose it, and then it will just say you have to simply click and the entire package will be installed. Once the package has been installed, and if you want to use it, then instead of using the function here library, you can simply, there will be here a check box, you simply have to make it here check, and then this package will be uploaded, and then the job can be done. So, and then there will here be a list of all the packages which are available here. So, so as soon as you start, you have the complete idea that what are the packages which are locally available on your computer. Locally means when we are trying to install a package and in the RStudio, that then they are installed only on that computer or only on that laptop. Right. So if you wish means you have installed one package in your office and you want to use the same thing at your home computer, this is not possible. You have to install it there again. So that's why I use the word locally. So this will give you this idea about the packages. Then after this here, help. So when you are trying to work in the RStudio software, you want to take the help. For example, if I want to create a histogram or a bar plot, then how to create it, what are the different options, etc. They can be very easily obtained from this help here. You simply click here, help, there will be a window there, you start typing it, and then in the drop down also you will get many more options, and then from there you can find out the entire help. And as my personal suggestion to all of you, I will say getting the help from this one is the most reliable option, because this help has been created by those who have created the function. So anybody who has created the function, he knows the entire thing, what are the different options, how they have to be used, how they have to be given. All these things are available there. Then after this, the last option here is viewer. So whatever graphics you have obtained, they can be viewed from here. Then you can magnify them, save them, etc., etc. All those options are here, right? So yeah, for example, means I have given here a screenshot of these, some of these, and then after this, I will try to show you on the RStudio software. For example, if you try to click on the packages, it will come like this: install, update, etc. So if you want to install a package, you just click over there, and then it will you start typing something on it, and in the drop down menu you will getting some option, and then you can choose from there, and then you simply have to click, and it will be automatically installed from the R server, right? Then after this, there is here an update. Whenever you are, suppose you have installed a package today, after that the package is updated, and if you want to update them, then you can see here update, then those selected packages or all the packages, they will be updated automatically without any problem. Right. Similarly, if you try to see here, the third option here is packet. Packet means if you try to see here, these are the different packages which are available. For example, in my computer in which I am working, I have different packages here, say agreement, base M, composition, compute.es, etc. So if I want to use any packages, I simply have to go to this box, and then I have to make here check like this. For example, I want to use here composition. I have to make here only a checkbox. Suppose I want to use a compute ES. I have to come inside the box, and I have to make it here only a small checkbox. Simply click with the mouse, and the package is uploaded there. So that is equivalent to the library command. Right. Okay. So after this, means if I try to give you this details of here help, so you can see here there is a small window here. Help is a where I have to type. Suppose I want to get this information about histogram. So if I start typing here HIST, so you can see here something will come here, and then if you try to just enter, you will get here all the details about the histogram. And within the histogram, if you want to search anything, you can just click over here. Right. So you can see that it is not actually a very difficult thing. Right. Suppose now let me give you an example here like this. Suppose I want to create here a bar diagram of these values 1, 2, 1, 1 like this. So there are 3 different values which have been repeated in different numbers. So how I can create this bar 1. So I try to, okay, I have not shown you, I'm sure that you might be knowing that what is the command for creating the bar plot. So first I have to store this data in some data vector here like this. Then the command here is bar plot, and within parentheses I have to write table, and then within parentheses here X, and then if I try to execute it on the R console, I will get here some outcome. So what I try to do here, that I try to show you these things on the our Stduio software. But before that, let me try to give you here these details on the Stduio software so that you feel more comfortable on it. Right. So if you try to key here, this is my here window. Okay, I will just delete everything here, and then you can see here what is here. Okay, 1, 2, and then now if you try to see here, if I try to come on the environment, you have to just watch my this cursor. I'm trying to increase the font size. So because of the limitation of the screen size, all the 4 windows are not now coming in the same window, but you can see that if you try to reduce the font size, all of them will come over here. So anyway, in order to make you visible clearly, I have increased the window size. Okay, first thing you can see here, you can increase the size of these windows by clicking on the borders of these windows. Right. Suppose I am trying to explain you for this environment. So I can make this window here clear. So you can see here that these are the different types of data values which I have personally used on my computer. So they are visible here. Right. You can see here. And then if you try to come here on the same port data set over here, you can see here. It is from text, from Excel, from SPSS, from some different statistical software like SPSS, SAS, etc. So it is now very simply, you just click over here like this, and then it can take the data which is available on any URL or any local file on your computer. Everything can be done. Yeah, that's a very important application of the R software, that it can read the data directly from some URL, also from some website also. Right. Then after this, you can see here, this is here the broom sign where you can clear the objects in the workspace. Similarly, if you try to see your history, so in the history, if you try to see as well, I have means yeah, because because I personally use this R software, so you can see here whatever I have done in the past, that is stored here. And just before this lecture, you can see here I have used these 3 commands: library mass, attached bacteria, and fixed bacteria. They are also now here. Then after this, there is a connection tutorial. Right, means it will definitely give you more idea of these things over here. Right, now I try to give you some idea of this here. Window number here 4th. Right. So you can see here now, let's say file. So this is trying to give me the files in my working directory. And then first, let me come on this with this part here, packages. Packages you see, suppose if I want to use this a bind package here, I simply have to make it here, say here, this check mark, and you can see here, this is executed here on the window number 2, library a bind. Similarly, if I want to use here this package here, AER, I click here and it will load here this package, say here, and it is, yeah, it has done everything actually, whatever is needed to use this package. AER, it has loaded it here, library, and then it has loaded all the required packages over here, right? Similarly, if you want to install it here, it will ask you, suppose I want to install a package here, say meta-analysis for, say, suppose the name is here, meta.shrinkage. It will try to give me all these things inside the this here drop down, and from there I can simply choose here install, and these things can be done very easily without any problem. And similarly, if you come here on this update, this will show you here what type of update do I want here, and then means I can choose means I can select all, and then I can update these packages without any problem. And similarly here, help, if you try to come here, suppose if I try to give here help, suppose I want to have about this histogram here, say hist, if I try to see here hist, and you can see here, this is now appearing here, which has all the details about the histogram. So this help is completely on your fingertips. And then after this here, you have here viewer you have, it's not active at the moment because we have not used any data set here. So now let me try to create here a bar plot. So if you try to see here, I simply try to copy here this one. And yeah, so this is my here data on, say, 3 values, 1, 2, and 3, which has been repeated for different times. And then I want to create here a bar plot. So whatever commands I have, I can just type it here in the window number 1. And then you can see here, I simply try to highlight it, and I simply try to press here on the run. And you can see here, because actually my this screen size is smaller, so it is, and then I had increased the font size, so this is getting the issue. But if you try to reduce the font size, you can see here now this graphic is available here, right? You can see here. And then if you want to zoom it here, it will zoom here. And then yeah, means if you want to save here, copy image, save image, reload, etc. This can be done by clicking the right button of the mouse. And if you want to save, say here, export it here as say here, save as image, that means say JPEG, save as PDF. All these things can be done here. For example, you can see here, you can you can control the size of the size and other parameters of the graphic, like as you want in the PDF in the portrait mode, landscape mode, directory, etc. Right, all these things you can get it here. Right. Similarly, if you want to clear it, and if you want to publish it here, you can see here, if you want to publish it online also, those things can be done without any problem here. And if I want to clear it, I simply say here, clear the plots, and it will say, are you want to clear all the plots in the history? And if you say yes, it will clear all your plots over there without any problem. Right. So and then now I can show you, because you have used now this command. So let us try to see that whether it has appeared in the history or not. You see, this has appeared here in the history. If you try to look into this 4 values over here, you can see here I had clicked this command, these 2 commands, X and bar plot, twice, so it has come here twice. So it will, so in this way, it is trying to give you all the information, whatever you wanted on a single screen. And if you try to see here, if you try to look into your window number here 2, you can see here that the same command, if you try to give it directly on the R console, that is available here also. Right. So whatever you wanted to do on the R console, that is now directly available here in this window number 2 also. So now you can see here when you are trying to work inside in this R software with this with the help of this RStudio software, you can see here that in these 4 windows, you can have all the information which is very easily available before your eyes. And they are just one click away of one click of the mouse away from. So now, now if you try to see how this is going to be useful in the data science. In the data science, whenever you are trying to do something, then the results are not obtained in a single shot. You have to rerun, revise, and revisit your formulation, programming, etc. And then you don't know what is really happening inside the data, because you are the one who is going to extract the information from the given set of data. And data is simply your def and down. Data cannot understand your instruction, but data has to be given some instruction through the R software only. And then many things are happening at the same time, which you would like to control and view at the same time. So I'm not saying that all these things cannot be done in the R console, but surely when you are trying to handle all these things together inside the RStudio software, then it becomes easier for us. And then when the things becomes easier, then the chances of and above all, chances of making mistakes are actually less. And then whatever we are trying to do, that is just available on a single click. So we can control all the things in the minimum possible time when we are trying to work in the RStudio software. Right. So I think let me stop here. We have 5 to 7 minutes. I will keep this time for asking questions or anything if you have. So Dr. Ashok Sharma, I think
thank you.
If you have any question, because I cannot see anything on my screen, so you have to tell me if there are any questions.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for detailed presentation about it, how the RStudio, about the interfaces we have to work in. This is what exactly we were expecting, and because we are all beginner in RStudio, and our researchers, students, and most of the participants are really very happy the way you have explained things, sir. Definitely, participants, if you have any question, please put on the chat window if you have any queries, because things have been made so simple. I think you may not have, but even if you have any query, that whether it can be used for machine learning or deep learning type of things, whether the packages are available, which we can import in RStudio, please go ahead. If you have any queries, you can ask the question like this. And if you hesitate, then you can type on the chat window also. I will read and second answer accordingly. Please go ahead. We have 3 to 4 minutes more. Okay, sir, a question from my side, sir, if meanwhile they do put on the chat window, sir. I think machine learning, classifications, decision tree, and random forest, these all packages can also be imported in RStudio, and we can work. That is possible, sir.
Yes. That's actually great. The only thing is this: you have to identify that what are the packages for these jobs which you need. For example, for doing the cluster analysis, there is a package cluster, CLUSTER. So you just go to this this packages option, and you simply try to say install packages, and you just type there cluster CLUSTER, and it will be there. You just click, it will be installed. And then on the checkbox, you simply try to just on the side of the cluster, you simply try to make a check mark on the checkbox, and it is uploaded. After that, you can work.
Right, sir. So yes, definitely right, sir. These are all available. Yes, we have a question there. Is there any
error possibility in RStudio? If occur, how are we? You see, whenever you are doing anything which you don't know, then it is going to make a mistake. So if there is any, if you are giving any wrong instruction, wrong command, wrong spelling to the RStudio inside the Arc console, then it will make a difference. But since most of the commonly used instructions, they are just governed by the click, so I can say that the chances of making the mistakes are actually less. Yes, if you want to make a plot and if you clear the this and if you try to press the button next to it so that it can clear all the graphics which are available in the history of the art software, then they are gone. Once you make a mistake, then after you can't help it actually.
So we have another, sir. Oh, is there is any book? Yes.
Where what is this? I
Is
couldn't.
there is any book where we can find the
Okay,
command?
command writing for regression, another strategy. Yes, there are many books now, many help menus, and then if you there is a course which I have given on this MOOC on the same platform, Essentials of Data Science Part 2, in which I have considered this regression analysis. So that is a platform where you can view the lectures that will give you the beginning. But now if we have many books which are doing regression with R. So at this moment, I can't recall the exact name and authors, but from Springer and this CRC Press, also there are many books which are which are available, in which they are trying to do all sorts of regression analysis with the R software. So whatever you are trying to do in the R software, the same thing can be done through the RStudio software.
Definitely, sir. And your MOOC is also there for before
Yes,
24 student can enroll.
yeah, in fact, this time I'm trying to revamp my this elementary course on the R software, because that was created 5-6 years back, and many things have changed. So from this coming July, actually, I will be giving the course, 30 hours course on foundations of R software, and that is going to be in Hindi as well as in English language. Both means parallelly. So
That's
yeah, that is another thing. Otherwise, the videos of the earlier courses, they are available on the website of the NPTEL. From there, you can watch.
that's great, sir. That's great. There is a one question from a participant that he got the error object not interpretable as a factor while she will be
I
working.
think it might be possible that a factor is an aspect in the R software which is equivalent to a categorical variable. So the data structure, what is given inside this variable, may not be really a factor variable, which possibly she is trying to read as factor.
Great. So any more question, please go ahead. Okay, I feel there is no more questions. Sir, once again, on behalf of Department of Computer Science, Padava Campus, University of Jammu, and the Ramajan College of Delhi University, once again, I extend my thanks to you, sir, for your kind acceptance. Otherwise, it's not easy to catch you because of your busy schedule. It's only because of the affection, because of the attachment you had, and you still have with our campus, University of Jammu. You gave your valuable time to all of us, and really, your talk was really very good, very nice, and in a very simple way you explained each and every aspect of the interface, sir. Definitely it's really very useful, and in future also we will be expecting the same from your side. Once again, I thank you, sir, and thank you very much, sir. We will keep in touch.
Sure. Thank you very much to all the audience who had patiently possibly listened to me. Thank you very much. Right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all the participants. Thank you Shalabh sir, Ashok sir, Diksha ma'am, and all the participants who are listening this on the YouTube and as well as live on this meeting. So we will be having one more session at 1:30, and the details of the links and everything will be shared at that time only.